108, 109, 110.
That's it, Sandy, you did it!
Let's get things started with the episode Squirrel Record. This is from the modern SpongeBob era, so the episode's all fancy in HD, and it has 2 mistakes. Let's not waste any time. Here's the first one.
SpongeBob, I need photographic proof of my amazing deeds.
I'll go get the camera.
Well, hurry up.
Oh my.
So, as you guys just saw, SpongeBob leaves to go and get his camera, but when he does this, he leaves his helmet inside the tree dome. But once he's shown running back with his camera, he's randomly seen with his helmet on again outside of the tree dome, which literally would have been impossible because he left his helmet there when he left. Maybe he has an extra one, but I think the animators messed up here and they were not supposed to draw him with the helmet on again. What do you guys think though? Let me know in the comments below. For now though, here's another mistake from this episode.
We're all in this together.
Let's have a look. SpongeBob?
Hey, Sandy.
SpongeBob, what are you doing?
Yeah, so speaking of that water helmet, alright, if we go back to Tea at the Tree Dome, we know that if SpongeBob does not have water, this happens. He starts to dry up and he pretty much nearly dies. But for some reason, after SpongeBob is crushed by the machine in the clips you guys just saw, he is now randomly somehow able to survive inside Sandy's tree dome without wearing a water helmet. I guess whoever wrote this episode or whoever animated Squirrel Record must have forgotten about this very crucial detail. But anyways, we can't spend all day on this episode. Let's head over to another one, guys, that has much crazier mistakes. Stay tuned.
Who's been in Bikini Bottom for as long as Mr. Krabs?
Ow!
No! Hi, Plankton!
This next one has very few mistakes, but the one it has is actually really bad, so I'm gonna make it quick. The episode is The Main Drain, a very underrated episode. Like, be honest, have you even heard of this episode before? I definitely hadn't before this video, but anyways, here's the first mistake. Let's expose it.
1 sec. Time for a scary story, boys. Again.
Where is the main drain, Mr. Krabs?
Did you guys catch it? It's a very weird one, but when Mr. Krabs turns off the lights, it's on the left side, as you can see right here. However, when Mr. Krabs eventually finishes the story moments later, the switch suddenly just changes positions. Like, what? The animators definitely forgot about where they originally put the light, but hey, stuff happens, alright? Mistakes happen sometimes. At least this one gives us a good laugh. I don't know if it's as funny as this next episode's mistakes, though. Let's keep it moving and stay tuned, guys. Things are only gonna get worse as we go.
And why are you sweating so much? And why do you look so hungry? And...
No, wait, it's not what you think. This is a big misunderstanding. You've got to believe me. Listen, I am telling you! You better listen to me, SpongeBob!
You like Krabby Patties, don't you, Squidward?
Next up, we've got some Season 3 goodness. One of my favorite Season 3 episodes, Just One Bite. In this episode, Squidward is exposed for loving Krabby Patties after he tries to lie and claim he doesn't like them. You're so fake, Squidward. Like, seriously, look at this compilation of this boy lying about not liking Krabby Patties. He lies so much in this episode, and then, of course, we're gonna get into the mistakes. They're really bad in this episode, so stay tuned.
Horrible, putrid, poorly prepared, vile, unappetizing, disgusting excuse for a sandwich it has ever been my displeasure to have slither down my throat. I gotta sneak one. Just one. Then I'm off the stuff for good.
It's hilarious because by the end of the episode, the dude explodes from eating so many Krabby Patties. But anyways, here's the first mistake, guys. Let's expose it.
I gotta have more. I gotta have more.
This one's a really bad mistake, and it happens towards the ending of the episode when Squidward gets caught and says the line, "I gotta have more." He is jonesing for Krabby Patties, holy. When Squidward says this, look, his mouth disappears for like a split second, leaving for a really weird shot of Squidward. This also happens again when Squidward turns around before this scene and says, "SpongeBob?" Yeah, same thing, his mouth disappears for like a split second, which is definitely a mistake, and I feel bad for Squidward because he's gonna need his mouth to eat all those Krabby Patties. So yeah, here's another mistake from this episode. This one's just as bad.
Yes! Yes! I admit it, SpongeBob!
I knew it all along, Squidward. No one can resist a Krabby Patty.
It happens around the same time as the last one, but for about a split second during his lines, one of his pores or holes just turns blue. Like, what is going on here, SpongeBob? That is not supposed to be blue. What? I can tell you what the issue is here. It's an animation error. If you look behind SpongeBob, the patty vault is blue. So for whatever reason, the layer of his pores, they're like clipping through and showing the blue wall behind it, which, you know, is definitely a mistake. Mistakes happen, but this one's kind of rough. I don't know how they missed it. I don't know how they missed this one either. Here's one more from Just One Bite, and then we'll head over to another episode, guys. Lots of other episodes coming up.
Triple Krabby Supreme! Triple Krabby Supreme! Did somebody order a Triple Krabby Supreme? They must have left.
I'm gonna make this one quick because it's a very typical SpongeBob error. Don't worry, there's lots of crazier ones coming up, but in the scenes where Incidental 40 is enjoying his king-size Ultra Krabby Supreme I Want One, the chum bucket, which should be across from the street, is just missing. Here's a shot showing that normally it is across the street, there's a path between them, but in this episode, Just One Bite, the chum bucket just doesn't exist anymore, I guess. The animators just forgot that it's supposed to be across the street. Crazy. Let's keep it going though, guys. I'm saving the best mistakes for the end.
We've been stuck up here for 3 days.
We told you you wouldn't fit in.
Next up, we're talking about one of my favorites, Club SpongeBob. I love this episode. As you guys know, SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward get trapped in the kelp forest, and Squidward nearly starves because the magic conch shell just does not like him. That thing does not like Squidward. Now, during one of those scenes where Squidward nearly starves, we have a mistake. It has to do with SpongeBob's drink, all right? Watch this.
Dude, we're falling right out of the sky. We gotta drop the load.
Praise the magic conch!
Hey, SpongeBob, that sure is a lot of food you got there. You know I was just kidding around earlier, and I mean, I'm still part of the club, right?
Yeah, so you guys may have caught it, but as SpongeBob is drinking his drink, the actual liquid in the cup does not go down at all. Like, we can see the glass with the liquid here before he picks it up, and then when he's drinking it and puts it back down, nothing changes. And you know, I'm nitpicking, but this is a mistake. Like, I wish I had infinite orange juice like SpongeBob over here, but that's just not... That's not how things work, bud. I am very thirsty now, though, I can't lie.
Way, look! It's Woodward! Sorry, Squidward, but you couldn't get in even if you tried.
You should be begging me to join.
Can't join.
You can't get in.
This one takes place closer to the beginning of the episode, but the tree and the clubhouse are facing the road at the beginning, right? All right, right here you can see. And there are many trees seen. But after SpongeBob and Patrick insult Squidward, the tree and clubhouse have completely moved and are turned 90 degrees to the right. And now there are barely any trees shown. Just to show you too, here's a side-by-side comparing the amount of trees before and the positioning of the clubhouse. And it gets worse. As when Squidward climbs the tree, he is facing back to the road, as you can see here, all right, facing back to the road. But then when he tries to get out of the clubhouse, it is again rotated 90 degrees to the right. So like, is it facing the road? Is it facing Conch Street? It just constantly changes. First it's facing this way, then it's facing this way. Very messy, very, very strange. And here's one more from this episode that's from a similar scene.
I do not know, nor will I ever want to be a member of your...
Did you guys catch it? Well, when Squidward rides on his bike, he leaves his door open, all right? It's open. But then seconds later, as soon as he tries to get back down, the door is just randomly shut. And here's the thing, no one would have shut this door unless like a random other pedestrian incidental character came along and closed his door. There's no way his door would have closed. So kind of a weird mistake here. You can see they drew it with the door open and then forgot about this and drew it with the door closed. Not a big deal, but still a mistake. And let's keep it moving, guys. Here's another episode of SpongeBob with some wild mistakes.
So just listen now to my new musical doodle. Do, 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 do.
We've got a little season 7 action coming up for you guys. This next episode is from season 7, obviously. It's Earworm, and it's all about SpongeBob getting addicted. Like, he becomes addicted to this song that he cannot stop singing in his head. Just like I'm addicted to exposing mistakes in SpongeBob. I'm so lame sometimes, guys. Here's the first mistake. Let's see if you guys can spot it. Try to comment it before I reveal it, all right?
The musical doodle. Oh, she jumped in. In a racket.
You're done for the day.
Trying to escape, it's doodle. Do, 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 musical doodle.
Did you guys catch it? It's a weird one. So, during the pan shot of the messy kitchen in the clips you guys just saw, these condiment bottles right here are blank, all right? And there's this cabinet that's over here. It'll all make sense in a second, but remember, the condiments have no labels, and this cabinet is far away from SpongeBob over here. However, when Mr. Krabs is sending SpongeBob home, the condiments now magically are labeled despite them not being labeled a couple seconds prior, and that cabinet that was originally farther away is now closer to SpongeBob. Here's a side-by-side to show you guys I'm not capping. This one's totally a mistake. And here's one more from the same episode.
Up inside of me. Oh, shit.
What in blazes are you doing? That's it, boy. You're done for the day.
Trying to escape it.
This one's kind of similar. So when SpongeBob messes up the Krusty Krab kitchen, there is a stack of Krabby Patties near the back left corner, and the word doodle is written over Mr. Krabs' office door. Again, I'm always rambling, but remember this. Remember the word doodle, and remember that stack of Krabby Patties. Now I'm hungry. As when SpongeBob eventually runs out seconds later, like literally seconds later, the doodle is missing, and that stack of Krabby Patties is missing. Now maybe Squidward came along and moved the Krabby Patties, but the doodle on Mr. Krabs' door, that is 100% a mistake, guys, 100%. And let's keep it moving, lots coming up.
SpongeBob?
This looks like a job for Old Reliable.
Up next, we have a very underrated episode of SpongeBob, the Pink Purloiner, a tragic episode where SpongeBob thinks that Patrick has stolen his jellyfishing net. Like, they get into a whole beef. Here's some clips of them disagreeing, and then we're gonna get into this episode's first mistake.
And I'll start with my trusty jellyfishing net, Old Reliable. Patrick,
I'm all done.
maybe we should spread out a little. Oh, hello, hello!
SpongeBob, did you get your net back?
Oh, get off the line, Patrick. Someone might be trying to call about Old Reliable. Gets to practice in the middle of the night with his jellyfishing net. Funny thing is, Patrick's net disintegrated yesterday.
A present? What is it?
It's a Confess-A-Bear. He's a special friend you tell all your secrets to. Tell Confess-A-Bear now!
I accidentally knocked SpongeBob's toothbrush into the toilet, and then I put it back on the counter without washing it. Down a second.
Oh, reliable. Huh.
Hello.
What's in your hand, Patrick? Well, I gotta go.
You can't have it for any price.
And why not?
My friend SpongeBob.
Ah!
SpongeBob!
You no-good jellyfishing net thief!
How could you think that? Gift.
What?
It's my friend SpongeBob's gift.
Poor Patrick, man, he didn't even steal anything. I know I just spoiled the episode, but he didn't actually steal anything, just saying. Anyways, though, here's the first mistake.
Good night, Patrick.
Good night, SpongeBob.
Did you guys catch it? It's kind of funny. But when SpongeBob and Patrick arrive at their houses and SpongeBob opens his door, there's like a duplicate door behind it for a couple of seconds before it disappears. When of course, there should only be one door. I don't think I even need to tell you guys that. It happens really quickly, pretty funny. Not as funny as this next mistake though. Roll the clip.
Patrick, don't go! I'm sorry I accused you.
Oh, it's you two. Look, you left your net on the bus again.
I'm staying in Bikini Bottom.
You need to pay close attention to catch this one, and we'll definitely need to slow things down and pause for you guys to even see it because it happens so fast. But at the very end of the episode, after the bus takes off, one of these passengers' faces changes colors. It's this dude right here. First he's colored like this, but then once the animation starts of the bus moving away, it quickly just changes and his face is now this color. Here's a side by side, and bro, that looks really awkward. How does the dude's face change? I'm genuinely curious on how this mistake even happened from an animation standpoint. Like, I'm no animator, but this wasn't like a layering issue. It's just very, very strange. Let's keep it moving though, guys. We've got lots of episodes coming up. Actually, hold up for a second. It's time for the random mistake of the day, where we're gonna get right back to SpongeBob, talk about another cartoon and a mistake in another cartoon very quickly. Today, we're going to be doing The Amazing World of Gumball, something recommended by you guys a ton. And again, we're gonna get right back to SpongeBob, guys, so stay tuned. If you're here for SpongeBob, don't worry, but yeah, for a little context, the mistake revolves around this character right here, Richard, who's the father of Gumball, all right? It has to do with him, and it's in the episode The Kids. Roll the clip, let's see if you guys can spot it. And then we're going right back to SpongeBob, just reminding you guys again.
You still got it.
Hey, kids, do I look old to you?
Hard to say. I guess that's the good thing about being fat. It fills out all the wrinkles. Come on, help us out here. Was it BC or AD?
This is definitely a situation where it's blink and you'll miss it for sure, and it's also really, really fun. But after Richard goes to leave the room after being insulted from his kids about looking old, if you look closely, his face completely disappears. You can barely see it in motion, so we're pausing it here and you can see it, and just, yes, something very creepy about seeing Richard without a face. Funny mistake here from The Amazing World of Gumball, and it's back to the main event. It's back to SpongeBob, and this one, guys, is going to be wild. Lots of mistakes.
How could life in Bikini Bottom possibly get any worse?
My Bikini Bottom's erupting!
That's how.
Cool.
Next up is another very underrated episode of SpongeBob, SpongeCano. Here, take a look for yourself. We're gonna get into the mistakes, but here are a couple clips from this episode just summarizing it, and then like I said, we're gonna expose the mistakes, so stay tuned.
Cause being your neighbor leaves me with nothing to be grateful for.
Wow, Squidward, you should really consider getting your plumbing looked at.
What are you boys doing out still? Plenty of room at the volcano shelter. Hey, but no more roughhousing. You got that?
Oh, yes, of course, ma'am. Try and behave yourself, fellers.
All right, it's mistake time, baby. Let's go.
Goodbye, everyone. Huh?
If you're a true SpongeBob fan, you already caught this one. It's very blatant if you understand SpongeBob. So, as Squidward is falling down into the volcano, rest in peace, dude, he's only drawn with 2 legs instead of 4, which is totally a mistake. Squidward does not only have 2 legs. If we even go back to, for example, Culture Shock, right? And Squidward does his iconic dance, look, he does not only have 2 legs, so totally a mistake here. This is a really bad mistake if you really think about it. So much so that I don't even want to talk about this episode anymore, dude. Like you. Let's keep it moving. It's time for the random mistake of the day, where we take a very quick break from SpongeBob to talk about a random cartoon and a random mistake from that cartoon. Today we're doing Amphibia, and for context, the mistake has to do with this character, Annie. It's in the very first episode of Amphibia, Annie or Beast, and it has to do with Annie's outfit, alright? Let's see if you guys can spot a mistake from a show some of you might have never even seen before. Roll the clip.
Oh, here we go.
Like I said, it has to do with Annie's outfit, and as you guys just saw in the clip, when Annie leaps to start sliding into the log with Sprig, if we watch very closely for a frame, this school logo that's normally on her shirt disappears for a frame. It comes back after, of course, and it's on her before this, but for that one frame, it's missing, and that, my friend, is a mistake. Now though, let's get back to what you guys clicked on, SpongeBob SquarePants.
I'll be returning to my grown-up lifestyle, so keep it down!
Squidward!
Let's do another quick one from the episode Squidbait. Let's get right into it. Here's the first mistake.
It's to work on your penmanship, Squiddy.
My face! My face! Also my leg, but mostly my face!
This one's definitely going to need some explaining. This character right here is Incidental 106, and he's colored like this. Remember these colors, alright? This right here is Incidental 107, and he's colored like this. After Baby Squidward scribbles all over Incidental 41's face, we get a shot of Incidental 106, but this time he's colored incorrectly. For some reason, they made a mess up, and they swapped Incidental 106 with Incidental 107's colors. What? Here's another mistake from Squid Baby. This one's interesting. We may have covered this one before, so I'm going to make it very, very quick. But when SpongeBob and Patrick yell, "Squiddy," not only is SpongeBob missing his arms, which might be more of a comedic effect, but a piece of his bottom is missing at the bottom of the screen. This is definitely a mistake. You can see the animation glitches and it's just cut off or something. Really, really weird. We ain't done yet though, guys. Let's head over to another episode. So many mistakes in today's video.
Anything at all!
Oh, I like a man who begs.
See? Told you.
The Curse of the Hex is a very interesting episode. I personally really like the plot of this episode, so here's a really quick plot summary, and then we're gonna get right into the mistakes. It's a bit of a spooky episode. This evil girl puts a curse on the Krusty Krab, but anyways, here's the first mistake. This one's pretty cursed.
The end of another successful business day. You know, Squidward, this time of day always reminds me of money.
Krabby Patties cost $4.50 these days, lady.
Dude, how did this, even happen? When Mr. Krabs says, the end of another successful business day at the beginning of the episode, the Galley Grub menu lists a Krabby Patty as a Crab Boy Patty. They misspell it. Crab Boy? Yeah, that's a mistake. And here's another one from the Curse of the Hex. This one's more towards the ending of the episode, and we're going to really need to zoom in to highlight this one. But when the customers run out of the Krusty Krab at the end, as I was saying, if we watch Incidental 13 here, they're supposed to run off screen, right? But they actually disappear before running off screen, which is 100% an animation glitch. You can see the layer of him moving was cut off before hitting the side of the screen, and it looks really weird. We're playing it in slow motion, but yeah, this one, it's a very minor detail. No one would notice this, but I definitely did, and it's a mistake. Oh, wait though. I actually found another one from this episode. Roll the clip.
Psst. Old lady? Old lady!
Here I am.
Did you guys notice what's missing? Well, normally there's a back door in the Krusty Krab kitchen that leads to the outside, like the back of the restaurant. We've seen it in so many other episodes, but for some reason in the Curse of the Hex, there is just no back door when it should be right here. So yeah, another mistake in this one.
Hungry, thirsty.
Next up, we have the episode Home Sweet Pineapple, and here's the thing, guys. Cartoon Corey has been on a quest to cover all the mistakes in every single Season 1 episode. I've been doing it slowly throughout multiple videos. Some videos will be focused on one episode. Some videos, like this one, for example, I'll have a small section, and right now, we're gonna cover every single mistake, every one, in the episode Home Sweet Pineapple. We're looking at nearly 10 mistakes in this one episode alone. Here's the first one. Roll the clip. So that first one is pretty straightforward. First of all though, take a look at this. This is a shot of SpongeBob's bed from another episode, alright? And one thing you'll notice is that the bed has a back. Well, the bed frame has this back part. Well, in this episode, at the beginning of it, when SpongeBob sits upon his bed in Home Sweet Pineapple, the back of his bed just disappears, dude. Here's a side-by-side of it from another episode as well. And just yeah, I don't know why they just didn't draw the back of his bed. So weird. It's always there, and then randomly it isn't here in this one shot. Very strange. Here's mistake number 2.
Squidward, a couple of days or a month or two?
Oh, yeah, well, whatever.
I'm gonna make this one quick. It's kind of a weak mistake in my opinion. It's from the wiki, and as you guys know, my goal with this is to cover every single mistake in this one episode. So even though it's weak, we gotta cover it. But SpongeBob over here, here's a PNG of him. He has his eyelashes, right? We all have eyelashes, and what happens with SpongeBob is whenever he closes his eyes, his eyelashes always disappear. This is a common thing in 2D animation. Like in every other episode, it happens whenever he closes his eyes. But when SpongeBob decides to call Squidward for help, he blinks his eyes, but his eyelashes are still seen for about a split second, which again is technically a mistake, but it's kind of lame. Let's head over to mistake number 3. This one's much better.
Hey, SpongeBob, your house is gone.
Bo ho, bo ho, bo.
Squid's taking it real hard. What are you gonna do now?
I guess I'll have to move back with my mom and dad.
So eventually, as you guys just saw, SpongeBob loses his house to those pesky nematodes, and eventually realizes and says, I guess I'll have to move back in with my mom and dad. Now, when this happens, when this exact line is spoken, if we look at Patrick, who's looking very dapper, by the way, like I like his suit, if we look at him, his mouth disappears for like a split second as it's said. Like, look at this dude missing his mouth. Like, how do you forget to draw a character's mouth? Crazy, dude. Like, I don't know how you forget to draw a character's mouth, but whatever. Let's head over to the next one. This one's good.
Good night, SpongeBob.
Did you guys catch it? I would not be surprised if not, because this one's kinda weird. So, this is SpongeBob right here, and you'll notice that underneath his mouth, he has this like red line. I don't know if it's supposed to be his lips, if it's supposed to be his chin, but it's always there, this red line right here. It never goes away. Well, actually, it does in this episode in a form of a mistake, as when SpongeBob's shivering in the clips you guys just saw, look, the red line normally underneath his mouth is gone for about a split second. It does come back, but for that split second, it is gone, dude. It's gone. Like I said, this one's very, very easy to miss, but this next one, not so much.
Squidward, could we stay here a couple of days or a month or two?
Oh, yeah, well, whatever.
Thanks. Can you give me a glass of water?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks, buddy. Yep. This is great.
This next one is another one from the wiki, and I'm not gonna lie, you guys are pushing it with this one. It is kind of a mistake, but before Squidward returns to bed after giving SpongeBob a glass of water, the pillow is like, it's more square than anything, alright? And as you can see, it's only fit for one person. But eventually, when Squidward goes to bed with SpongeBob, they're so cute together, the pillow is now suddenly rectangular and wide enough for 2 people. Here's a side-by-side, and I'm not gonna lie, guys, the pillows are not that different. Like I said, this one's from the wiki, so do not point the finger at me, alright? I just included this one because I want to include every single mistake, and you guys say this is a mistake. So anyways, though, I'm rambling. Here's the next mistake. Take a look at this one.
Mother has dinner waiting.
Hello, Mrs. SquarePants. Let me help you with these bags.
I cannot hold on to you any longer, little pebble. You hold too many memories. Well, Squidward, this is goodbye.
Now, this is one that's actually like pretty bad. This is actually like a real mistake right here. So near the ending of the episode, SpongeBob wears his hat when he is going to plant the seed. As you can see right here, all right, he's wearing his hat. Remember this, as when he plants the seed a second later, his face is seen close up, and look, he isn't wearing the hat. Now, of course, after planting the seed, the hat does like reappear finally, but yeah, totally a mistake. He's wearing it, then it just disappears for a second, and then it reappears back. Crazy mistake. All I know for sure though is that's a really nice hat, SpongeBob. I want one.
Well, Squidward, this is goodbye.
Come on, SpongeBob.
Goodbye, Patrick.
Leaving. La 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 la.
Last one. So when SpongeBob gets in his parents' car and Patrick like grabs onto the back of it, pulling the car back, and he's crying, if we look at the antenna on the car, it's like glitching out. It's like jumping between different colors and stuff. I'm zooming in on it. Yeah, that antenna is not supposed to be doing that. Now, that's going to do it for today's video, guys, but click this video right here if you want more SpongeBob mistakes that are even crazier than the ones I covered in this video. Seriously, some of the best mistakes I've ever covered are in this video, so click it, dude. Click it. Let's watch it together, all right? Peace. I'll see you over there.